What's up? How y'all doing today? If you guys just said you couldn't hear me, I was just saying before we started, if you were here for any of the previous live streams we did past 2 weeks, we did it through YouTube only, and it didn't work as well as we would like to. The stream cut out about half an hour through on both times. So today we're going to go Zoom and YouTube live and see if we can make it work together. I'll just switch this camera up a little bit. Okay, get some things out. And you guys can kind of see in the background, we got some of my awesome students. Leo's over there. Leon right there. Johnny. Okay, cool. So today's topics, moving this shit, is we are working on SmashBoxing and then the integration of Aikijitsu. So if you guys are new, SmashBoxing for us is now we're kind of playing no rules combat. We're integrating punches, hammers, elbows, and frames all together, some cool flows. We're going to work a few of those things. Then we're going to get down and dirty and start breaking some shit using Aikijitsu or Japanese Jitsu components and see how all those things come together. So actually, let's get you guys going, okay? So you guys in a work combination, you know what? Well, I'm going to start with you. And if Johnny and Leo, I'm sorry, yeah, if you guys want to maybe be partners and for the first type of drills, we'll kind of talk about it. So Leo, let me grab you. And guys, I put Bob back here too. So if you guys are training solo, you'll see how this stuff works. And if you have heavy bags, I'll have these guys demonstrating heavy bags first. So we're going to work on hammers to start. Hammers are a great tool. The thing about punches, we're hitting with our knuckles, and we primarily try to hit with our first two knuckles because that gives us strength throughout the forearm. And as you get a better fist, you might be able to start cheating and using your ring finger and pinky, but ideally hitting here is not that great. And of course, in order to hit properly, we have to wear all these padded gloves. But a hammer strike, hitting with the blunt object or the bluntness of your hand, it's very hard, very strong, very hard to break. And if I put a tool, I don't have a knife or anything on me right now. If I put a tool or a knife in my hand or stick, it follows something very, very similar. So what I like about hammers, they can be armed and unarmed. So we're going to work on two different concepts today, internal hammer and external hammer, and how to use those to destroy our opponent's structure as well as create entering principles. So first, let's start off with that internal hammer. And Leon's just going to give me a reference point. So we're in a fight, he's presented a fight, and I want to smash through his guard. I am not going to just reach out and smash it. I'm going to think about stepping, and my hand is nice and close, and we could actually make this a little bit better. I add a little bit of slip with a cover. You can see how my right hand is kind of caged up right next to my elbow. And then I'm going to turn my hips and smash his guard down. Now, obviously, this is not like I'm not done yet. I have another thing to do. We're going to add an external hammer here later, but right now we're just going to fill the space with our left hand. All right. So almost like a dropping hammer. So again, I'm boom, and dropping in. All right. That's our first main drill. And what we sometimes call this concept, we switch leads, switch spots, killing the lead. He could be throwing a jab. Boom. I kill that lead and smash right through in. Or he's giving me a solid target and you guys can't see the door's right there. Boom, I'm smashing and running to the door. Okay. So for you guys, if you want to go, I go a few, you go a few. Actually, can I grab you guys really quick? How I can do this with a partner? Let's say Leon is gonna be smashing right now. Johnny's gonna be moving around, kind of stalking a little, and you're moving around too, so you have tight space. And Leon's just looking for that connection. Boom, and exiting out. Okay, now it's Johnny's turn. He smashes through. We're gonna go with your right hand first. Yeah, we'll get to that. So Johnny just switched it up a little bit. He's been doing this before, so we'll go right, left. Boom, boom, correct. And one more time, both of you. Nice. One more time for Johnny. Good. So if you saw some little differences in both of them, Leon was using, hands up, Johnny, was using a step forward with his right, then came to left. Johnny got a little bit of a range and kind of used that, like almost like he's throwing a step jab, but instead he came here and then found his entry on that external hammer or the next hammer. In reality, it doesn't matter. It's what fits you. I do not want to see you guys reaching. That's when hammers fail. Think about it, it's like tighter. Like my elbow really doesn't come too disconnected from my body. The farther away it is from my body, the weaker the structure. So How about this? Why don't you fuck up Bob a little bit? Okay, just get a couple drills. You work with Leo. Then we'll just do a quick switch so you guys, we're only going to go quick drills, guys, so you can see how you could drill this with yourself or with a partner. So I'll have Leon just work the heavy bag, and Leo and Johnny can work it back and forth a little bit, okay? Go ahead. Yep. Good. Here, so you can go one, just go one-on-one, Johnny. That's fine. We're gonna go right. Yep, sorry, not wrong. We're gonna do that later. Okay, you're not wrong. We're just gonna do that later. Okay, Leo, let me show you a thing. Okay, so I don't want you like using your empty hand. Think about you have like a pen or a knife. I'm trying to stab his hand. Okay, so it's like we call it a hammer for a reason. I'm hammering something down. I'm not trying to push it away. So, and then your left hand, because he's gonna do something, right? I'm not gonna go like this. What is he gonna do? I'm fucked. Boom. I'm like getting some sort of cover in place, but it's a body mechanic. Boom. And then, okay, so think about stabbing, hammering that way, you know? You're a little tight on the, so this, yeah, so your little tight is kind of look like this. Now, maybe we'll call like if you threw the jab, but we do like a boom, like that. Instead, make it a little bit so you come in, boom, you're having that like, almost you're throwing a right hook or a cross, and then you're trying to find that like, you know, this side is shitty for me. I can't bring that hand up, but you're trying to find that cover a little tighter than drop in. Let's give it another minute. And actually, so you guys are doing, yeah, a little reachy again. So it's not like this. Think about, you're only allowed to bring your elbow like 6 inches away. And then I'm not going to reach out. Boom. The hammer really shouldn't come too far. When it does, it's like, boom, it's back. Okay? That makes sense?
So
don't do drugs.
Don't reach, but
yeah.
Just like
better. And use it and then throw right cross for me. What does that look like? Oh. See how you got nice foot mechanics with that? Okay. Same thing with the hammer. Use your good body mechanics. Much better, okay? But see, this space is a little afterwards. Yeah, or no, see, this space is too big. Your job is to get almost for this particular one. Let's way right here, ideally, right? And then see how that works. If Johnny kind of had a little bit of space and he was able to like turn in and kind of get that perfect spot. I feel that I like to move a little bit more, especially to the outside line. So I'm going to add boom, but see, I'm nice and tight, you know, and there's not too much space. It's just hammering down. We almost have the same body mechanics of throwing a cross or right hook.
So then where does the frame come into play after?
So then the left hand. So if I'm bringing my left hand up, see, let's drop it right in.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Let's go. We'll play with these both again. Let's go to our external hammer on the lead side. I'll put you right here. So I like this one a lot. And if we are going to the outside angle, that is, without a doubt, I think one of the most like beneficial angles we could take. That the more I get over here, the more I get away from his power side, the more I start exposing his back, the more I start lining him up. Now it would reverse, go southpaw for me really quick. Now this is the more dangerous side, and this is the more safer side. So go back to orthodox. The lead leg of our opponent determines what's the best angle. So towards our opponent's power, inside his hips, that is the inside angle, and the outside angle is outside his hips, okay? So we all know that that right hand is very dangerous, okay? Anytime that hand is back, that's typically the dangerous hand. A great example of someone going the wrong way would be Michael Bisping versus Dan Henderson in an old UFC. You can relax for a second, sorry. Where Bisping, actually, my line hands back up. Okay. If you guys know anything about MMA or UFC, Dan Henderson is one of the, he was a great Olympic wrestler, but he also had a bomb of an overhand right or right hand. And Bisping kept circling to Hendo's rear side. And eventually, in the beginning of round 2, Henderson unleashed this monster right hand that I believe, well, I know for a fact that Bisping does have one fake eye that got destroyed in a fight. And I believe it was from that punch. I'm 90% sure. Imagine that. He lost his eyeball because he circled to the wrong side. I'm sure, Bisping is a very, very talented fighter. I'm sure there's reasons why he was doing it. Maybe Henderson was pushing him, challenging him that way. He just forced to circle that way. Long story short, we want to get away from that power hand. All right. So before we use an internal hammer, and that might feel a little awkward at first, but we use an external hammer. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. I didn't even mean to smash through, but you kind of have this other like tool or reason to get offline. So different ways of doing this. And the way I like to think about it is I'm going to enter in again, and then I'm going to start dropping my left hand. All right. So kind of when we do external hammer slings, it can have this rotational feel. But if I just enter in with my guard up and smash, that's the great use of that external hammer. It's similar to like almost like a frame in boxing, where I'm using framing to get close, unleash dirty strikes, but now I'm just making it more aggressive. Boom. Now you see what happens to Leon's structure. His whole flank just opened up. What type of fighter are you? Do you want to punch him? Bink. Do you want to elbow him? Bink. Do you want to kick him? Boom. I got all the funny noises today. Hold on, I want to drop in and look for a clinch entry. Cool? Okay, so let's work that. Leo, I'm going to put you on Bob right now, and you two guys can work together. And now, for you two, I want you to follow up. So external hammer, and to whatever you feel natural. Don't go, like you can enter for clinch, but don't go for takedowns. Just let it flow a little bit. And we're going to get to the internal hammer, external hammer combination in a second. So if you guys want to play with them now, before I describe it, but kind of play off of that, boom, and it's finding what flows next. Okay, 2 or 3 hits after. Okay, so you work on this lead arm, and I want you to line up here. Okay, so I want you to line up almost with this box between us, okay? And we're not perfect, but we're close, okay? And then we're not going to worry about this arm because it's really low, but I want you to think about your stepping and getting your left hand up. I had neck surgery on this side, so I have a very hard time covering this space, but we want to be fairly tight there, okay? So I want this hand to come up, boom. And then I just want you to think about dropping your hammer right to his neck or clavicle, right? From there, small step forward to your right foot, boom, and throw a big punch, okay? One more time. Step off, hands up, boom, step, boom, okay? Play with it. How we doing, guys? Any, while they're working, any thoughts, questions, curiosities? I'm going to check the chat right now. Jim looks off, so nothing curious. Still got 3 people on. I can't really check YouTube right now. What can I? We are, okay. Live chat. I see no chats right now, so that's good. Okay. If you guys have any questions, if you are watching on YouTube, please send us questions. Let us know if you have any thoughts or curiosities. It definitely looked like it's streaming a few minutes behind. What do you think about hammers, guys? You use them at all? Hammers a big part of your game. First time seeing them? Do you have a martial arts system that employs hammers? What do you think? Love to hear your thoughts, your questions. Let me just check how these guys are doing. Don't think about attacking the arm per se, right? So I'm just, boom. Okay, so I hit the arm. Oh. Now YouTube is way behind. Holy crap. Hold on, guys. What's up, Ben? What's up, Keeper? Good to hear from you. That was weird. Okay. No. Little incorporation. Oh, cool. Ben, for your hammers. Yeah, they're definitely, I think they're one of the hidden skills you can have for striking that is slowly starting to make its way into competition MMA. But for self-defense, integration, armed and unarmed combat, I think it's one of the best. Oh, Leo's getting a little spicy. You trying to destroy my Bob? Someone already kicked the other one too hard. Now I had to break. Now you're gonna be the next guy I yell at. Kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, you could kick him. Just yeah, boom. That wasn't bad. Again. Okay. So we're trying to go too hard. Okay. Where this is a common problem. People try to like, you get excited and you start swinging, shit starts falling apart.
Yeah.
So make it first. Let's get our defense a little stronger. When you're coming in, think about it. If I just come here, like I'm still exposed, look at my jaw, right? Instead, I want it to feel like this. It's almost like I'm I grab one of you two really quick. Actually, both of you, excuse me. Johnny, I want you to throw a jab, and then Leon, I want you to slip, outside slip, and as you slip, give me like a cover, like a split frame cover. Okay? If you guys can see that, yeah, not bad. Actually, what's come right here, Leon, for me? Okay, good. So again, now one more time, and pause after that. Johnny, you can bring your guard back, hand back. So this is the position we should be trying to enter in. This is for you, okay? It's like he's slipping with reinforcement. And then instead of like bringing his hands down and doing something, as he's bringing his hands down, he fucking throws a hammer. Bam, bam. Does that make sense? So hammers are sometimes like interrupts. They're blending defense and offense at the same time. It's like I've got my guard up. Instead of bringing it down to throw a jab, I'm just going to hammer instead. Does that make sense? And then throw something after it. Cool? Okay. Guys, let's move on and let's combine our internal hammers and external hammer together. This is a great, Leon, use you. It's a great tool where I'm now just going to use them together. Where I'm like, bam, boom. I'm flowing through. So similar kind of we talked before, but here, boom, we dropped. Now I'm just going to add this like rotational feel. So when I start doing that internal hammer, my hips are coming forward, boom. And then as my right foot is landing almost, I'm dropping that hammer. So it's like boom, boom. I'm sorry, left foot. Boom, boom. And you're smashing through it again. We're right back to what tools can I use to follow up with? All my punches come online, my kicks, etc. So were you guys doing that already? Or a little bit? Okay. So what's going to put you right back here again? Then you guys can flow a little bit, and then we'll move on. All right. Yeah. First time seeing hammers, I never thought about using them to open up opponent. That's why I like them. I think that was my first real appreciation of them, because I first saw hammers because I came from more of a traditional boxing and kickboxing background, as well as jiu-jitsu. So I first saw hammers, I'm like, man, I don't know about that shit. Like, that's kind of funky. And then it just became like, oh, I really like these things because they do a great job killing the guard, getting through the lead, as well as creating other openings. And we work a lot on angles. Like, I don't want to be, as all martial arts should, I don't want to be forced on forced combat. It's not like Civil War times, Revolutionary War times, where you line up the armies and just start shooting at each other, right? Flanking is a thing in combat. Angles are a thing. We have to be thinking about that while we are doing our unarmed skills and training, is that I've got to create an angle. I've got to create an opportunity. And those hammers are great for doing that. And yeah, Ben, I can't agree with you more. If you can't do it slow, you can't do it fast. And I think that's one of the, I don't want to say pure newer students, because not only newer students, but when we get excited by training and we get the first click, oh, this feels good, we tend to start rushing and adding more speed and more power when you don't need to. I firmly believe that slow is smooth, smooth is fast. That if you can own the technique, get that feeling of what it is, then fast is just instinct, because your body understands how to do it already, so it can add speed naturally. If you force speed and force power, it falls apart. The way I think about it too is body mechanics produce power, not like me trying to be strong. My good body mechanics, good hip rotation, all that, good foot movement is going to create true power. Okay, how are we doing over here, guys? Thoughts, questions? You don't care. You're good. Well, you care, but Leo, let's see. Not bad. Okay, I'm going to add one more variation on this one that I actually learned. Ruben is teaching in that room right now. But I actually learned from Ruben when I was in Spain a few years ago, many years ago, about 10, 15 years ago. That's similar in nature, but it's almost like a. So we're start off that internal hammer again. Boom. And now instead of coming to the jawline, we're going to hammer and corkscrew through. It's a different feeling. So it's like boom, boom. Okay. And I'm using this to create a pathway directly across his body underneath him. Boom, boom. Now we enter in for our clinch. I can start getting to my takedowns or start monitoring him and looking for my big finish. So similar to the external hammer, as in boom, but now you start inverting the hand. And as you invert the hand, it looks like you're going to punch it through across his hip. Boom. There's that hit. Okay. Now, let's say I can't fit through. I'm like, look at the great position I'm in. Boom. I still have that beautiful power hand right after. So that's what's kind of cool about getting these angles. When I get my angle properly, if I turn my hips in, I'm right there, right? So your internal, boom, clear, feed to the hip. Now we can kind of walk them a little bit and finish them off. Obviously, I could get a grapple. I can get a shield. There's so many things I could do when I get to the back. But because of limited space and limited time, let's just talk about that. Okay. Since it's more partner related, how about this? Let's go 3. Okay. So you'll go 1 on Johnny, 1 on Leo. Johnny will go 1 on Leo, 1 on you. We'll circle through a few times. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's just do that. You're practicing 2 hammer fists right now into frame 2. Feels good. I like that, keeper. Good. And just travel to the back and give you the feel like you're actually going to enter through. Good. Now Johnny goes, doesn't matter. Go on Leo. That's fine. Yeah, think about you almost like you're almost going to like frame 4, like Philly shellish, but as like, so if it's invert the elbow. Watch. It's weird. Do it again. See what I mean by that? It's like an inversion to a punch. I don't know how to describe it. It's like, I almost like an ascending hammer. You know what I mean? The bump, but it's like you're starting in your guard and going an ascending hammer across his hip. That makes sense? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, pretty good, Leo. Little rush. Why don't you guys come in the middle so we can see you? You're here for a reason to make yourselves famous, you know? Good. Not bad. We'll go, that was a start of round 2. Okay, then we'll go, yeah, let's go 2 rounds and we'll move on. Not bad. Good. And Leo's turn. Boom, boom. A little rush again, okay? Your first one you did everywhere because you slowed it down and you thought about it. So 1 and drop that. Better. That internal hammer needs a little work, but I would argue it's one of the hardest ones to kind of get in the beginning. Okay, guys, let's get into some elbows for smashing or frame smashing. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Be happy to answer them. And I'm going to quickly check the YouTube chat to see if anything is showing up. Any advice how to, well, there's a couple things. YouTube is working. Yay. Loves me some hammers. Love it. Smash that button when you get a chance. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you, brother. Any advice on how to not injure your pinky when throwing good hammers? You know what? Let's talk about that really quick because I don't think it should be an issue, but I guess people worry about that. If you feel like you're injuring your pinky, you're probably hitting in the wrong spot. Okay. So when I'm hitting my hammer, at first, we got to make a good fist, guys. No matter what, we're in a good fist, right? If you don't have a good fist, then this is basic. My hands are pretty dirty, sorry. All 4 fingers in, thumb covers first 2 knuckles, and you're looking to expose those 2 knuckles. That's a good fist, no matter what, right? Now, when we have a fist, I'm working to keep my hand in line and almost slightly flexed in. That's what part of pulling down, like your thumb, like that, like strengthens this. I mean, I have a Kyokushin background, so bare knuckle. We had hit bare knuckle. I don't know how many thousands of reps of bare knuckle on a heavy bag between Oz and I. And we used to spend after class just fucking ripping heavy bags. It was like a honor to get bloody and then do it again the next day. Our knuckles were destroyed at all times. But if you don't have a strong fist, then I don't care what punch or hammer you're gonna do, it's gonna feel weird. Like if my fist is like Yeah, I fucking hurt my pinky. But I'm hitting like in here. You know what I mean? So like my pinky's not even in play. It's just a fucking hammer. Like I don't, I don't want to be mean. Maybe you need to do some hammers on the heavy bag, condition your hands a little bit. And when you're working like strikes, like if you're just working any punches on a heavy bag, it's not like you're hitting hard. You're just working your different shots, and you're just flowing a little bit. You know what I mean? You're just getting used to hitting properly, but I'm not trying to look hard, be hard. You smash heavy bags and all that. Yeah, you might hurt yourself. Okay. Good question, though. Let's just check it one more time, see if there's any follow-ups on that. I know it's trying to weird to manage two things at once, but we're doing the best we can here. Okay. So let's get into some elbows and frames. Guys, if you're new, framing is a part of the TRITAC system, really influenced from Casey Fighting Method, Defense Lab. And I'm also going to add Crazy Monkey Defense because that's by Dr. Rodney King. That was one of the first exposures I had to it as well. It is a high guard solution. It is not the end all to be all. It is not what your whole martial art should be devoted to. When you study arts like Casey Fighting Method or Casey now, or Defense Lab, which is now defunct. I don't know what happened. But they are very married to the frame. Like the frame is everything, or they call it shapes or pencil or whatever. And I guess, of course, there's other skills off of it, but your whole fighting style should not be this, okay? And so we will use it for different things. For example, if Leon just unloads a big right hand, I might have a neutral frame. I'll go ahead again. I might frame 2. I can't do frame 1, but you get the point. That you have this brace connection. Zach Bilabashi, one of MMA athletes, just won a fight 3 weekends ago, where he used versions of framing called split frames, right? Where it's like a high guard system. Did very, very well. He dealt with a lot of adversity in the beginning. Actually, I posted a YouTube video of my recap on that fight, but he did very well in the beginning. So he got overcome some adversity in the beginning when his opponent was throwing big monster. Johnny, can you come here really quick? Don't fucking kill me in the head, but can you take Leon's spot? Where kick me in the head, where he was getting one hand up, okay, and doing a decent job. In fact, you can see it. One of his shots, like the elbow went into the instep, and actually the kid was in crutches after. I don't know if he broke his foot. I think that's what I heard, but obviously his high guard worked really well. But when we talk about, let's say Johnny's kicking me very lightly, and I have a bad neck, so he's respecting me. But like, if someone's hitting hard and like bombing you with kicks, your single hand defense is not going to be enough, and probably it's going to like end up getting your arms, or take a lot of abuse too. So that's when like brace frames or support frames, like a traditional kick, go ahead, we would have like kind of here and go ahead and boom, start passing it off, that type of things, where we can just have that. It's almost like a frame 1, but not braced. Frame 2, same thing. I would have it on the inside. I'm just either having open hands for control, or I close it up, boom, and I got a little toe in the forehead there. You're good, dude. That, I'm bracing and controlling, having more support during that structure. And it's kind of funny. I forget what student was talking about it. Like we were doing framing and some like dynamic defense, and he was concerned that blows were kind of glancing off him. Well, good. That's supposed to happen. Get used to being in chaos. Get used to being hit. Get used to surviving and realizing I'm good, bro. It's like a guy who plays football in a helmet getting pissed off because he gets banged in the head. Like, you're not getting knocked out. Your neck's not broken. You're not getting dead. You're okay. Live the fight on. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's just start off with a very, very basic drill. I'm going to use you, okay? Leon is going to throw a jab cross. And we are going to use a parry. And I'm going to give you a choice. Frame 2 or frame 1, okay? Frame 1 has a hand over. Frame 2 has a hand under. And they would switch. I could have frame 1 on my right side, frame 2 on my left. Now, because we have a lot of older guys who follow us, that if you're like me, might be a little tighter on your shoulders and neck, that getting a tight frame 1 might not feel as good. but getting a frame two where you could put a little extra security between that gap works pretty well. Okay, so when Leon throws that jab, I'm gonna parry that jab, boom. Now I defend with the frame two. Now let's link what we've done already. All I'm gonna do now is step offline to my right, and I drop my external hammer. Okay, now I've got that gap in his jaw and his ear, and I step forward with my left leg and go back to frame two. Boom. Maybe even back to frame, maybe back to my hammer and knees. You can start thinking how things change. We call it flows. So again, jab, parry, defend the cross, drop my external hammer. That's killing that guard, maybe catching him in the jaw, and I just drop this right elbow over the top. Boom, back to my brace frame. I don't have to go in a brace frame. Right, same thing again. Boom, boom, boom. I could just drop an elbow over the top, but I want to see your hands where they should be. That's why I like almost starting with brace frames, because when you throw an elbow, you get used to having your other hand in the right spot to prepare for the brace or have that strong connection compared to throwing elbows with other hands in no man's land. Okay? You guys got questions on that? You good? Okay, so let's go back to the three. I go one on him, and we'll view it. If you guys, I'll talk about doing it in a heavy bag while they're doing it. So once you guys start, okay. Now, if you guys are on a heavy bag, we'll use Bob. In the beginning, I like to have this feeling of like, okay, I'm going to play the offense and defense role, even though he's not giving me offense yet. So on that parry, I might even step back a little bit, kind of get used to stepping back on my parry. Okay. Now he throws that right hand, I turn my hips in and defend against that big right hand. Right now, and get tight. Let's say I'm late to the party on the defense. I might have to go parry frame two, where instead of rotating my hips in, I'm now kind of off, like I'm kind of like absorb, eat it a little bit. All right. It doesn't matter. If I'm aggressive with it, he's going to react back a little bit, maybe get his punch jammed up. And that's why I take his space with that external hammer. And then again, that right elbow is going to connect to my left foot. Boom, right back in. How are we doing, guys? Good? Need help? You good, guys? Leon?
Yeah, maybe a little.
Okay. So, right hand. Now, we're talking about parries. We want to get in the habit of moving our foot backwards. So he throws that right hand. Boom, I'm moving back. Now, as that punch comes, boom, I'm turning my right elbow and putting it like underneath my nose. See how it touches the shoulder? Okay. I am looking over it. I am not trying to hit his arm. He's punching properly. And I happen to put my guard where it should be. Now the other hand will just fold on top. Bring your guard back. Now, even though this hand's here, don't even worry about it. You're going to take that step off. Boom. I reset that hand over here and finish. Okay. John, you got to go to work?
Yeah, I'll be back next time.
All right, bud. Stay. Tight for a second. This is why I call it brace. Like, you're meant to survive fucking hell in here. All right. Now, boom. Right foot steps forward, drop his hand right on his hand. Boom. Correct. Okay. Always slide over here. This is good. Okay. Do it again, Leo. Boom. Caught. Pause. Cause see how you're late to the party on the frame two? I don't want to be here. Now I have the time for me to bring my hand back up and get it over there is way too late. It should feel like boom, boom. It like flows. Boom. I'm just going. Essentially that. And it's a good drill to do because a lot of people, just like you in the beginning, throw jab cross, they tend to slap their parries. Where it should be, then boom again, boom, boom. You know what I mean? Try that for a second. Just a jab cross like that. Better. Okay. Don't think about elbowing it. I know it looked like I was elbowing it. I want you to defend against it. Okay. Big difference. Better. Now, hypothetically, pause, do it again. Pause. What does it feel like to have your hand here? Does that feel better? Cover it. So we always should open your hand. You always get in the habit of having this type of cover. Okay, so everybody can see this. So right there. Okay. Don't worry about this hand. Hand to the back of the neck, and you're trying to cover your spine. All right. The other arm is covering his jawline, right? And you're trying to eliminate as much space there. The elbow, sorry, Leo, the elbow is in front of the nose, right? Common mistakes, people do this. They try to wave out the arm and defend. You want to stay tight, all right? Now, if he was like me and maybe had no empty hands, he would have that hand folded in there. It's the same structure. But let's say he's got the gloves on. He could always just come over, okay? Now he could look under his frame or diagonally through his frame, right? And you would just kind of rest, open your hand again, kind of like rest like this. Okay, and you kind of see how that, like, that's better, okay? Does that feel more comfortable with you or the other one?
I mean,
yeah, it's all new to you. Yeah. It's all right. Yeah. So just play around. Try to get to a brace. Yep. Better. Correct. Yeah. There you go. That was fun. One more. Boom. One more. Good. I'm calling that a big win for Leo because it started looking very instinctual, very natural. And even though he didn't actually like lock in his hands, he got used to defending, then flowing right after. So very good. And when we're working with, like, if you guys are teachers, you work with students for the first time, don't expect 100%. There's no such thing. Even I'm not gonna do 100%. You expect like things to start clicking and working. You make smaller modifications as they get more skilled and more confident. All right, Leon, your turn. Let me see a few. Yeah. Boom. Again. And then drop the hammer. Boom. Okay. Now, I'm going to do a video about this someday. We are being very respectful. I use you. I'm doing. And, you know, I'm not like Leon's working. Go ahead, just do the drill. So ready? Boom. Okay. And maybe outside looking into you guys, for you guys, that looks good. Okay. Before I even say it, anybody in the chat know what my pet peeve is about that? Kiefer, I will answer your question in a second. Okay. My pet peeve about this types of drills, there's no movement. It doesn't really contain the reality. Now, in this situation with Leon and Leo, we're just like kind of learning, cool. But eventually, on the drill, do you know what? Okay. I want Leon to actually go after me like he is going to attack me, which means he's moving with his punches. He's not just being like, okay. And unfortunately, this is a big problem in martial arts training is that we get very used to being static. I'm debating whether I not pick on this person or use this video as an example. I saw a guy who I do respect. He was doing a drill, and it was like, bro, like, come on. You got like, you can't like, and it was like one of these things where it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm like, and the guy was just standing there taking it. I'm like, when ever in combat has that happened? Never. We can't train like that. Okay. So now again, Leon's coming at me. Boom, boom, bam, boom. Like now we're moving. Now we're flowing. We're just like, and I've earned the right to go a little faster, but let's go slower, but same energy. Boom, boom. Like, look at I'm on. Boom. He might be moving back. Boom. I'm like learning to adapt, stay with him, move my feet. I feel alive, like I'm actually fighting, not just running through a prescribed set of drills. So in the beginning, yes, do the drills, understand the body mechanics. But if you really, really, really want to learn like true combat, how to fight, doesn't necessarily mean sparring, but you have to add some sort of realism, some sort of feel. If not, like, how are you truly going to believe it? You know what I mean? We instinctually know it's a bag of shit. Okay. Did we both go on that one? Okay, good. All right, cool. Pad holders are to move back. Yeah, Ben Gray, correct. Pad holders are to move back. And pad work is cool. Stay right there. Yo, meaning I can do this drill with Leon. So I'm going to throw my jab cross. What I'm going to do is go jab, boom, then hit him cross, boom. Then I open up my hand for the hammer, boom, and then drop the elbow. Not bad. Okay. It helps him move, helps him develop power. But what I don't like about this, maybe the jab was decent. As in, I had some movement and I got the kind of right reaction. Maybe I could do the cross similar where I stab right down the middle. Boom. Okay. Pretty good. Now that her hammer, remember, he's aiming normally for my neck. So it's hard for me, obviously, to put a pad there. So we kind of do this. Boom. Now I'm a little off, meaning he's a little off, as in he should have been like had a bigger step forward, right? Instead, I kind of made it have a short step forward. So boom, boom, and then he drops the elbow in. It's similar in movement. It's similar in pattern, but I think if you are going to do mitts, they are, again, something to be used to like develop a new skill set or like clean some certain things up. But true work, gotta be partners. Now, true work can also be solo, but you have to play both games. Okay. That if I'm going to do on Bob, this drill on Bob, I'm going to go parry, block, hammer, boom. I'm going to move, but I'm kind of playing both sides of it. And when, as you saw at the end there, I'm almost trying to knock Bob over to get the feeling of entering in. Okay. We are going to pause on SmashBoxing because that was actually really cool one. I really enjoyed that. I love this shit. I fucking love it. I just can't help it. I get excited by it. And we're going to get into some Aiki concepts. This is going to be completely new for you. You're going to be like, what the fuck? That's cool. Okay. So if you guys want, yeah, kill your shin guards and your gloves. Guys, so I have a lot, believe it or not, I have more to go on SmashBoxing. It is a huge topic. It is in our TRITAC combative system as one of our training paths where, God, probably like 100, I mean, the whole system has like over 400 videos in it, or concepts and techniques. But the TRITAC SmashBoxer path, probably about 50, 60 videos on it, and many different flows and combinations that start linking all these things together. So if you guys are interested in that, I believe the link is, and I'll probably include it below. There's 2 links, okay? TRITACmartialarts.com/invite. That's going to get you into our free community. Check out all the things we're doing, tons of videos, all that type of stuff. We also have our TRITAC Matrix community, which is just like these live streams. You'll find them there. There's a lot more we've done. We post daily tips, videos. You can watch all of our sparring. We answer questions. There's 30 plus archives courses in there. And we also have access to our TRITAC combative system. We're doing a trial for that now. That's TRITACmartialarts.com/trial, where you can check that out as well. Okay, cool. Lastly, any questions on SmashBoxing before I move on? And I'm going to quickly check to see if YouTube's had any love. Yeah, I see YouTube's probably about 5 minutes behind, but that's cool. And we're just going to continue going back to, uh-oh, I lost it. Where'd it go? There you guys are. All right, Aiki. So first, Aiki concepts, we're working on a few different things, but let's just kind of like explain what it is. Aiki is a break. And I would say, would you argue primarily arm focused?
Yeah.
Yeah, primarily arm focused. I mean, there's other things within it, but when we consider Aiki Jutsu, it's like breaking and starting, with the wrist, elbow, and shoulder to a certain degree. Though, again, I would argue bulk of the manipulation is done here. Smaller joint manipulation. This was, if you look at going back to the history of Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, and there's some others out there. In fact, I'm going to throw a shout out. There, this channel, Jukido. I think you're the one who turned me on to the Japanese Jiu-Jitsu school out in Florida. I think you sent me a video of him and I'm forgetting his name. We just started emailing back and forth. Jukido is a very, very interesting, one of the best Japanese Jiu-Jitsu martial arts channels I've seen on YouTube. Like better. Like I do Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, but I have a more blended approach. His stuff is fucking epic. Like check it out. Old school, real Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. I love it. But what I would say the core concepts of Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, if you look at going back to samurai times, was like foot soldiers and there was like the elite guards. All right, foot soldiers, the big throws, the that more hardcore combatives that we primarily do. Then the elite, the guards, the guys who were in more tight quarters combat compared to an open field, used a lot of like Aiki Jutsu. And the Aiki Jutsu came from or samurai times, a lot of stuff came from weapons, right? That's some stabbing, whatever. Mostly stabbing or slashing that you have some sort of defense. So we use this in a lot of different ways, both from the unarmed side and definitely the armed side as well. And we're going to look at 3 core concepts. One is urigatami. That is a straight arm lock. That's actually how my instructor snapped my elbow. Then we're going to go, so urigatami will be here. Then korigaishi, which is a wrist twist. And then kori mawashi, which is opposite of that, okay? Nikajo san, no, nika. Third principle is no. That's a different technique, okay. Korigashi is, ikajo's first, what is it? Is it? Nikajo. Okay. No. Ikajo. Right?
Yeah.
Nikajo. Yeah. And Sankajo's, but is that Korigaishi too, you think? I don't know. This is where like I hate to admit, even though I'm 5th dan in Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, my names are the worst. In fact, I used to call our system Kobukai Jiu-Jitsu, used to call it Kobukai Jiu-Jitsu until I finally got corrected. Okay, so first, let's go over the urigatami. And what we're gonna do is Leon is gonna throw that big right hand again. Let's say you parry. Let's go back to the jab cross. Jab, boom. No, the looping right hand for this one. Okay, boom, boom. Okay, I'm crashing and leveling change and using a neutral frame. When I do that, my elbow is traveling underneath. Now I'm not moving, Leon, but really I'd be crashing, I'd be moving, stepping, adding a knee, boom, and then my elbow. Let's back up a little bit. My elbow is going to try to notch in to his elbow. And sometimes we have to do this rotational feel to expose it, palm together, then snap. Okay. I actually grab his hair, bam, bam. But this is Shion broke my elbow, but we did a gun, pretend Leon had a gun, came through, boom, and then fucking just killed me. I got pissed. Sorry, Shion. I love you, brother. So that's the first one. So look at it again. He's throwing that. Now, this jab could be a push, a punch, a grab, and that big looping right hand is coming. Pure caveat on this, guys. I don't like these looping right hands because they don't make sense. Even street fighters are trying to punch people in the face. So the looping right hand is more like this. Boom. Okay. Where it's kind of crashing. That's why I have to come level change. So he throws that jab or reach, boom, crash. Underneath. Okay. Now, this arm plays an important role. When we crashed, it's like I'm unwinding, one goes under, one comes to the jaw, and I'm using this frame concept. Keep him away. Maybe grab the back of his head. Boom. Boom. Okay. I am a little close to the elbow, so adding a knee right now, boom, helps me adjust my position. And now you see all this space snap. Okay. What do you think? That's some crazy shit. Yeah. Why don't you throw bombs at him first, slower speed, and we'll build it from there. Okay. Boom, boom. Left elbow travels underneath. Good. And see how he started rotating? So if you catch a hand, you hit the knee, boom. Okay. Better. And again, with me, I'm taller than you, and I'm getting underneath. You're staying too far in the high line. Think about it, you're almost going to do this, right? Like you almost made a level change for a shot, but you add a frame in place of it. Okay. What do you think, guys? Any questions on this? Framing, smashing? No. Check the tube. Can I do both of them? Oh, I can. All right. See what we're doing over there. Sorry, guys. Again, this is live. We're trying to do it with you. Hopefully get you guys engaged. Yeah, guys, again, if you have any thoughts, questions, curiosities, I would really love some feedback. It does help. This is something that we're really trying to put a lot of effort into. and I want to make it something special. So any feedback would be awesome. Boom. Okay, underneath here. Yeah. Now, knee lightly. Boom. Side of your body back a little bit, so the back of your elbow comes to his. Okay. Now, 2 hands together. Like this. Correct. Okay. Now, don't do this hard, but see that snap, that bounce right there off his elbow? You could probably be a little farther back. Inside your feet back a little bit too. Okay. Do you feel this tension underneath? Okay. That you, if you went real fast, you'd snap his elbow. Okay. That's now slight bounce. Like, yeah, like I'm gonna when I'm here, watch. Not gonna break him to go, think. Oh, your elbow always does that. His elbow always does it. Always freaks me out. Like 10 of my YouTube videos, his elbow does that. I'm like, ah. It doesn't hurt, right?
No.
I didn't think so. Yeah. My knees crack, Leon's elbows snap. Poor Leon. I love you. Yeah. Can you link the TRITAC trial? Yes. So while they're doing that, I'll type it in right now. It's TRITAC martial arts.com/trial. And Kiefer, if you have any questions or curiosities about what that is and want some more explanation, just send me a message. Like I texted you guys all today. Yes, it was automated, but like I texted you guys, but I respond to every single one of them personally. You know, that's a big part of my job is communication. So if you have questions or curiosities, let me know. And if you need to even jump on a call so I can help you go through it, see what it's all about. In fact, I recommend that when you do get involved with TRITAC in any sort of way, I respect it. Like I would recommend, like, if you want to use the TRITAC system, get involved in it, like, let's just talk to you first, spend 15, 20 minutes, not a sales call and bullshit like that. It's more like, hey, let's just help you get started on the right foot. Let me help you navigate some path. The way I look at it is like when a student comes in here, I try to get to know them. I try to help them. I try to steer them the right way, because just like this gym, I mean, you guys don't, you see behind us, we have a whole other section. Okay. April's working out over there. And then even over there is our, oh, by the way, there's our training, like we have a whole other dojo room in there. That used to be a spin room. Now it's a dojo room. My office is down there, and obviously the cages and by the way, all that stuff over there. So we have a big space, and we make a lot of use out of it. So when people come in here, there's a lot to experience. And if we don't introduce them the right way, it tends to get challenging. Okay. How we doing? Let me see. Okay. A little hop, skibbity boppity, but not bad. Boom. Okay. One more for me. Okay. So watch. When we parry, we're actually going to set my right foot to be active. So watch. Okay. Wait, let's say Leon's throwing a true jab cross. And I use parries. I'm moving backwards as he throws those punches. If he throws a true jab cross and I don't move, look what happens. I may have successfully parried, but I'm now set hard on my back foot. First jab cross didn't knock me out, but the second one, the next one is. Okay. So we do the same thing. Pause. I'm starting to step back, but instead of coming back again, I feel like, man, I have a good feeling. That parry was great. I've got a good right foot. See how the ball, the right heel's off the ground. So now when it comes in, boom, I push off the rear foot. Okay. Very similar. If I'm going to throw a jab cross hook, step my jab, catch up my cross, the ball, my foot is on the ground, and I push off that foot into the hook. Does that make sense? So hopping sometimes ain't the best thing. And I know you have no shoes on, but I don't want to get used to just hopping all around. I essentially need to be like moving our hips. You do that foot drop drill, do left, right, left. Like I'm throwing jab, cross, hook, upper. Like that foot drop drill is probably one of the best things you could do to start activating your body and movement while you're throwing punches or defense too. I can do the same thing. It's like slip, slip, roll, roll. Like it has its same mechanics for defense and offense. And if you start getting those mechanics as a martial artist, your shit gets much, much easier. Okay. Cool, guys. we are running short on time. I only have 2 minutes left. So I'm actually going to pause it right there. We got barely into Aiki Jutsu, but we're definitely going to do more of it. There's a lot on our YouTube channel too for all those things. So if you guys have any feedback on these, I love to hear it. Please message me. You can leave it in the chat. You could send me a text, 860-969-2207, or you could send me an email at mbryers, MBRYERS, at tritacmartialarts.com, or connect with me in the TRITAC community at tritacmartialarts.com/invite. That gets you into our free community to check it out and see what we do. Thank you all. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you today. I'm glad. I think we finally got this to work. So thank you.